This HAN Network video is brought to you by The Dock Shop.
On the campus of Stamford High School, this is the HAN Network's 2017 Winter Sports Tour. I'm Frank Renito, sitting alongside a coach and one of the captains for the co-op Stamford West Hill Staples girls hockey team. He is Coach Andrew Stallings, and she is Captain Stephanie Walsh. Coach Stephanie, thank you so much for taking time with us this afternoon. Stephanie, let me start with you. Being back onto the ice in the winter season, what have the emotions been like through preseason so far?
I'd say that it's been great being back on the ice. We had a 2-week preseason, so I would say team spirits are high. We spent a lot of time with each other, and I think we're looking forward to a good season.
And let's talk a little bit about that preseason. What was practice like for the girls? What have you guys been focused on to really sort of get back into that flow of things now?
Well, we had a 2-week-long preseason camp run by some of the players from the Connecticut Whale, and we were doing some on ice, some off ice, trying to just get all the basics back down and just get back together and build some chemistry.
And Coach, for you now, let's talk a little bit, about Stephanie here, why she is sitting next to you as a captain, her role with this team, and what's led to her taking on this responsibility.
Yeah, I think every season as a coach, you're always looking for, the leaders both on and off the ice. Stephanie, since day one, has been someone who's been, kind of a good mix of vocal and a silent leader. We have a really good relationship where it's just kind of, constant criticism, very harsh reality, and and it's someone that we need to be able to leverage and throw that criticism at to kind of filter through to the rest of the team to get to be our best. She's a phenomenal player, transitioning from a center and wing position last season when we got hit with a lot of injury plague, a lot of injuries earlier in the season. She transitioned over to a defensive role, and she's, I think, excelled phenomenally. She's got one of the better shots in the FCIAC. I would measure that against any school around there. And she's got a cannon. If we could only get her to light it a little bit more top shelf, she would be great.
That's the humble defenseman who's looking out for her teammates, not trying to clip girls up around the bucket. For you, Stephanie, now you guys will open up the season tomorrow. I mean, for that first game, obviously no one's winning a state championship in December, but what do you want to see the girls get out of the early season play here?
I think definitely a lot of chemistry and communication, and I think if we can build our team strong from the bottom up, I think we'll be really successful if we can work well together.
And that's obviously got to be a little bit more of a strenuous task for you as a whole here, because you've got 3 schools coming together. How is that process really taken care of, where you can build that chemistry through 3 separate schools, Steph?
Well, I think our team is really unique because we are a co-op, and I think it's actually a little better because we don't see each other all the time. So I think the time we spend together, it's really important, and it's really fun to just talk to other people who you don't see every day.
Coach, for you, if you wanted to set goals for the team this season, what is this group capable of accomplishing together?
I think we said it to the parents from day one, and we said it to the girls from practice number 1, is that I think we're a true measured dark horse going into the season. We've been hit with some injuries early on. A few of our girls were in the concussion protocol early on as we kind of hit to the first game, which is a little bit of a bummer. But the good thing is, we have a very strong leadership and a good senior core that's really going to guide us into, a phenomenal, first few weeks of the season. As you mentioned, all the games, all the matchups, they're never easy for us. We match up against Avon tomorrow night at Terry Connors, and it's going to be something that, we know. I think they took us down 5-1 last year, but, looking at how we measure up from a defensive standpoint, I think, we're going to really see how, for the first time in the program since I've been here in 3.5 seasons, how we kind of transition from a very goalie focused and offensive powerhouse to now more of a, really leaning heavy on our core 4 defensemen. So, I think we're really going to stack up defensively, and that's going to be kind of our mantra going into these first few weeks.
My last question for you, Coach, would just be, if there's one thing in particular the girls need to do well this year for you to be successful, what would your main focus be?
I don't know, Stephanie, you want to answer this one? I think it starts with a C, rhymes with remunimate.
I think that communication will be key this season. I think especially because we're 3 teams, we're not always around each other, so we don't know each other as well as someone you might see 6 hours a day. So I think we really just need to bond together and learn how we all think. So if we communicate, that'll make it a lot easier.
Yeah, you can never go wrong with that C word in hockey.
She nailed it.
My last question, Stephanie, it's just going to be, is there one game in particular that you're really excited for this season? You guys can't wait to play in?
I would say Wilton, because I think in the past years we've started to match up more and more. And I think last year they beat us, and I think it'd just be a great game this year to see what happens, and hopefully we come out on top this time.
Well, we're hoping that you guys come out on top a lot of your games this season. Thank you so much for taking time with us today. Great job, both of you, and we're looking forward to seeing you and the rest of the girls out there on the ice.
Thank you.
Alongside the coach and captain here for Stanford West Hill Staples Co-op hockey team, this is the HAN Network's 2017 Winter Sports Tour. Stay tuned as we roll on through the rest of the conference.